I think we can start. Okay. So yeah, good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. It's my privilege to introduce Professor Meng Gao from Hong Kong Baptist University. So Professor Gao is widely recognized for his impact for research on atmospheric chemistry and the health effects of urban air pollutions. So his extensive publication record, which speaks to his profound contributions to both science and policy. So today he will share his insights on crafting the winning research proposals. It's a skill very crucial for advancing our academic professional careers. So we are particularly grateful to Professor Gao for his joining us very earlier on his morning in Boston, America. So please join me welcoming Professor Meng Gao.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you, Patrick, for introducing me and also for inviting me to participate in this great event. I think the ECR workshop series is very important. It provides many very valuable suggestions into early career scientists. And I look at the previous series and I finally decide to share something on proposal writing because before I started my position at Hong Kong Baptist University, I didn't have any chance to attend a workshop like this. I think it's very important for scientists studying your career, but I did get lots of help from my previous supervisors and also colleagues. So I would like to share this kind of experience to all of you. Hope this kind of information can be useful to you. So as you can see from the title here is how to write winning proposals. And I would like to use my past experience in Hong Kong to discuss it, but also you can apply to different regions. So at the very beginning, I would like to talk a little bit about myself. This is also quite related to the experience of writing proposals. So I studied my Bachelor of Science in Atmospheric Physics from 2008 to 2012 at Nanjing University of Information Science and Technology, which is a top university in atmospheric science. And this is also my hometown, as you can see from the map. This is our university and my home is here. It's just about 20 minutes drive. And after that, I moved to Iowa. I got my PhD in chemical engineering from 2012 to 2015. At the University of Iowa. That was my first time abroad. And also you can see I changed my program from a science program to an engineering program. But I'm still doing atmospheric research. My PhD training were all about development and application of chemical transport models. And after that, I started my postdoc training at Harvard in environmental science from 2016 to 2019. And after that, I went back to Hong Kong and studied in 2019 in geography. You can see I went to many different programs, very diverse background. That also means many more opportunities because when you apply at grants, you need to define your area. With this kind of diverse backgrounds, I can apply through many different disciplines. That's actually a advantage because different disciplines, they have a different way of looking at proposals, and you can evaluate and decide which way to go. And I will come back to talk about it a bit soon. And for like suggestions on writing proposals, I would like to introduce these suggestions from there's like a file I also attaching here called the 12 Steps to a Winning Research Proposal, which was written by George, who is like affiliate, a joint professor at George Mason University, and his background is mainly in engineering, mechanical engineering, and also aerospace engineering. And he listed like 12 suggestions. I think this one is quite useful when you start, and I would like to explain each item of this document and then discuss. But I do have a different view on this, so I will discuss my view on this later. And like Josh also mentioned in the document that don't make the mistakes that the losing proposals made. I partially agree with this, but I also have a different view. I will let you know later. So first, for writing a proposal, you have to know yourself. Like you have to know your area of expertise, your strengths and weakness. That's very important. That actually decide what topic you're going to write. As I just showed, like I have a very diverse background. I could write something related to atmospheric physics. I can also writing mostly like chemical engineering or chemical transport modeling issues or environmental science issues or even more like geography. And you have to know your expertise. Like this is the publications during my first several years. You can see like I did health risk assessment, and also I did air quality modeling, and also the last one is related to health risk assessment. But the key of this paper is about chemical data simulation. We use ground-based and satellite observations to constrain model calculations. And then if you are thinking about writing a proposal, which direction do you plan to go? So for myself, I think I have sufficient foundation in air quality modeling. I think if I write anything about air quality modeling, it should be like convincing. I think convincing enough. For health risk assessment, I'm not that confident because the way we are doing health risk assessment is kind of different from the real public health community. If you write a health risk assessment proposal, it is also very likely those proposals will be sent to experts in public health for review. So I think I'm not confident if I write health risk assessment can be funded or not. For chemical data simulation, I think this is a kind of very minor community. Not many people are doing this work. And finally, for my first proposal, I decided to write something about chemical data simulation. For several reasons. First, I don't think I have I'm more familiar with chemical data simulation than air quality modeling, but chemical data simulation is like a minor community. Not many people are doing that. It also has very high technical requirements. That means if I'm writing on this topic, I have one paper to support it, and also not many people can do this kind of work. So I can be quite competitive if I read in this direction. But for air quality modeling, even though I have done many work on this topic, it's difficult to stand out. You know what I mean? Like so many people are doing air quality modeling. It's difficult to prove you are doing better than others. So the proposal bidding is very, very competitive. You have to make sure that you are better than others in doing your proposal work. So that's why I decided to write chemical data simulation. So before you decide your topic, you need to know your expertise, your strengths and weakness. That's very, very important. And second, I would introduce 2 to 4 points together. Know the program from which you seek support, and also read the program announcement, formulate an appropriate research objective. All these 3 points are about like which program to submit to. I'm talking about this using the funding schemes in Hong Kong. I think like in different, even like in different countries or regions, you have many choices. For example, like I'm now staying at Boston. So in the US, for our field, you can submit proposals to EPA. You can submit proposals to NSF and also NASA and also NOAA. You have so many choices, but each funding agency has their own preference, right? So don't waste time on inappropriate programs. So for example, here I list like 2 funding schemes in Hong Kong. One is the Health and Medical Research Fund, HMRF. Another one, ECF, Environment and Conservation Fund. So if like in the very beginning, I didn't know their taste, so I tried both, but for HMRF, I never get any funding from them. And I got one from Environment and Conservation Fund. So more practical suggestion, like how to decide if the program fits you or not. An easy way is to look at the already funded projects on the website. For example, the below 2 items are funded projects from Environment and Conservation Fund. So I think most funding schemes post funded projects, at least the title. Some of them also post like the abstract. So you can read through those listed project titles and to see if there are many like topics relate to your work. If there are many or several, it means that you have a high chance to go through it. So here, this is the funded ECF projects. The first one from my colleague at the Department of Chemistry. She's also an atmospheric chemist. The title is like spatial temporal contamination, porphyry sources and solubility integrate. You can see like it is related to PM 2.5 and has involve trace matters in PM 2.5. You can see from the title, like she's planning to do this work based on field measurements and some lab work. But for myself, I'm doing modeling work. Then I would look for funded projects more related to modeling. If like all funded projects are about field work or lab work, that means that this funding program probably likes field work or lab work instead of modeling work. Then if that is the case, you apply, it's quite challenging to get it. For example, like the NASA, most of NASA programs, they prefer like modeling work and the satellite work. And for field measurements groups, I think they got funded mostly for field campaigns organized by NASA. So it really depends different programs. So you need to do this very carefully, like go through many different programs and decide which to submit. And then also from looking at funded research, you can also decide the research objectives. For example, like health and medical research fund, if you go through the funded project, you can see like they like health risk assessment of air pollution. That is possible to get funded, but if I write proposals like that, I tried actually. It's not that convincing than professors from public health. That's the problem. But if you still want to try it, it is better to decide a topic more related to or similar to funded projects. That's the strategy, I think. So after you formulated an appropriate research objective, then you have to develop your research plan. For developing a research plan, it is very, very important. The feasibility is very, very important. I will summarize later what are the key parts that a reviewer going to review your proposal. So feasibility is very key element in reviewing a proposal. Once you have like a good research topic, so how can a reviewer determine if your proposal is feasible or not? I think they will look at it through two ways. First, he will look at your CV. So they will look at your relevant work and also your publication records. Sorry. Like the light got dark. I'm not sure. Probably it's not a problem. I will continue. Okay, for CV, I think at early career, you probably don't have many research records. It's very important to develop a records in a certain area so that your application can be convincing, and publish in like top tier journals help a lot. And I will share with you my experience. I will also show you the comments I got from previous submissions. They paid a lot of attention to your CV. One is through looking at your CV. Another is about your research details. So in each proposal, I would include a session to review what we have done previously on similar topic. So for example, I'm showing here our previous studies on chemical transfer modeling, chemical data simulation, machine learning, and GEMS air pollution estimation. So because for this proposal, I proposed something using modeling, using data simulation, using machine learning, and also use the GEMS, the geostationary satellite, to infer atmospheric chemistry. So I listed our relevant work in my proposal so that the reviewer can like easily know that you have accumulated enough in this certain area. Feasibility, like to demonstrate you can finish this interesting project. And after that, you have to state your research objective clearly in your proposal. So like the reviewer don't have a lot of time to review your proposal. You have to state your research objective in a very, very clear way so that they can see it immediately. For example, for like keywords or key sentences, I commonly use like a different color and a bold font to underscore it so that the reviewer can see it immediately. And for objectives, don't hide your objectives in your long paragraphs, like state very clearly in the beginning or underscore it. And also the seventh suggestion from George is also very important. I actually did it other time in my proposal, but I never thought about it. It's like frame your project around the work of others. That's actually very important. Many like scholars, like in their proposal, they write all about themselves. They just ignore like the previous work done by others. That's not proper. If I think like for mail review process, those reviewers are actually the experts in your small field. They actually know the progress of the research direction. If you ignore previous achievements, previous works, they probably get mad at your proposal. Especially sometimes if he has done lots of work, you ignore his achievements. That's not good. So don't brag about your novelty. Just like be frank and do a very good literature review and write previous work and extend your work and express your novelty clearly. That's a suggestion. And also it's quite important to describe the benefits to society. Right now, many proposer like grant program has the requirement to write the impact and how you plan to achieve it. And I like 2 weeks ago, I also at Boston, I also talked to a guy, a professor at Florida State University who was working with NSF in the US. He also mentioned about it, like NSF asked scholars to write the impact of your proposed study. I'm showing here the like impact statement of our submissions in Hong Kong. So your topic has to be beneficial to people, to the society. That's also how the way government is evaluating those funding agencies. If you don't know how to write it, I think it's important to talk to your supervisor or colleagues. And if you don't have anything to write, you can probably that's the suggestion I got from the professor from Florida State University. He suggested like writing something like you could participate in the like in the impact case of your colleagues, your supervisors. But this is not actually an issue for people in our field, the atmospheric chemistry. The proposed research is always related to like air quality, air pollution, human health. You can write something on this. And after that, for most of the other suggestions here are quite clear. For example, like grammar and spelling count. like format and so on, and approve your proposal before send and submit your proposal on time, I think you will do it before you submit. And the 10th suggestion is quite important to me. Know the review process, because some review process are like only panel review and some mirror review. That can make a huge difference for panel review. Panel review it's difficult to find because the people inside the panel are very limited. It's difficult to find the experts in your area in the panel. So for panel review, it's more important to write something like has more connection with society. For example, there are some schemes in Hong Kong are only the first round is panel review. I would write mostly about urban because like Hong Kong is a very urbanized place, and the whole government is concerning about urbanization and its impacts. So, and urban is related to many different fields. So for those kind of program, funding program, I will write topics related to urban. But other grant programs are using mirror review. That means that they have like database, and it's pretty much like sending your paper out for review. They have a database and have many experts there, and they will match your proposal with those experts based on some keywords, based on the topics. So as a result, those reviewers are experts in your field, right? They have a better understanding of your proposal and your approach. In that way, you can write more like specific topics in atmospheric chemistry that wouldn't matter. So know the review process is quite important. And also, as I mentioned in the very beginning, like I have a diverse background, and I can submit through many different disciplines, and that can also make a difference. And it is also kind of related to review process here, because different discipline, they have a different preference, different taste. But it's that kind of information is very difficult to get. You need several years to understand that. An easy way is to talk to your senior colleagues and ask for suggestions, like which discipline to submit. And after this, I'm going to use my experience to like elaborate different points here, and will summarize the most key elements in a proposal. So in the beginning, like George had a like sentence saying, don't make the mistakes that the losing proposals made. I mentioned like I partly agree with this, not fully, because I think like successful proposals are more important. So for the second half, I'm going to talk about learning from successful experiences instead of losing proposals. But I partly agree here, because mistakes can be avoided from learning from losing proposals. For example, if you fail because of format, because of like you didn't proofreading, because you didn't submit proposal on time, then you can learn from this losing experience, right? Avoid this kind of stupid stupid experiences. But for winning like a proposal, it's very important to learn from successful experiences. In the beginning, I just mentioned like reading those funded projects. That's one thing. Those are others successful experiences. Like learn from the website, and also you can ask your colleagues if they can share your their previous funded proposals or not. I think learn from their writing style is also very important. Like in our university, we have a scheme to share funded proposals. Like every year, the university will ask funded professors, would you like to share your funded proposals for this year? You can say yes or no. They will not force you to do that, but eventually they collect like a number of funded proposals in the database, and other colleagues within the university can have access to it, and they can learn from those successful proposals. In addition to that, I would like to mention like also learn from your previous successful ones. But in the very beginning, you probably for your first several years, you probably don't have successful ones. Then you should learn more from your colleagues, those successful ones. Here I will introduce learning from my previous successful experiences. In the beginning, I was like trying and trying. I didn't have a good sense of this, but later when I got several funded, I kind of understand like the logic and the preference here. So in the beginning, I mentioned that I have a diverse background. That means I could like submit my proposal through many different disciplines. This is showing the important funding scheme in Hong Kong called the General Research Fund and other schemes for individual research. So for submitting this proposal, you have to indicate your like your code, your discipline to go through, and they will go to different panels. For panels, because I'm in geography, geography in Hong Kong is in the Faculty of Social Science, so we can also submit through social science panel, but I'm not listing here. But I do have colleagues in similar field submit through the social science panel. Here, I list those disciplines I was thinking about. For example, like chemical engineering. You know that I had like PhD in chemical engineering, and under chemical engineering, there's a like sub-discipline called environmental sciences. For atmospheric chemistry, you can definitely submit through this code. And also that's chemical engineering. And we also have physics science panel. I'm actually a member of the physical science panel. But I'm like a panel member. I can discuss every year to make a decision. But I never submit through physical sciences panel. So under physical sciences panel, we have also earth sciences, physical geography, environmental studies, and science. They are all related to my work. I can submit through them. But I haven't tried a physical science panel at all. Mainly because the first time I was funded by the civil engineering discipline, and then I didn't want to change because I saw like this panel probably likes this kind of proposal, so I continue submitting through their discipline, and I got like funded several times later. That's something like you need to learn from your successful experiences. So also they have civil engineering panel. It seems like it's not related to our field, but actually under civil engineering, there's a subcode called environmental engineering. So in my first year, I submitted through this. I actually thought about this very carefully, and I determined this mainly because that's related to the first suggestion here, like read those funded projects. I use the website to go through all funded projects under these different codes, and I found that for similar colleagues in Hong Kong, most of those projects were funded through this civil engineering discipline. So that's how I decided to go with this first. And then these are the titles of my previously funded projects. I've submitted 5 times and got 4 funded. First, simulating surface PM2.5 and ozone measurements to improve health exposure assessment. You see, like the first one I submitted was mostly on data simulation. And you can see the topic is very similar to the work I published in ESNT. Like use chemical data simulation to reduce uncertainties in health exposure assessment and air quality forecasting. And you can see like I use this topic also because of the discipline. It's environmental engineering. This is a very technical engineering topic. And second, like improving predictions of ground level PM2.5 with deep learning and like world's first geostationary air pollution satellite. And others like reducing uncertainties. You can see like all these topics cover modeling, cover observations. That's the common features of these topics. Modeling, observations, machine learning, satellite. The basic idea here is to combine modeling and observations to advance something in atmospheric chemistry. In terms of that, these topics are relevant, similar. That's what I want to convey here. Like learn from your successful ones. When the first got funded, I continue writing something similar to that, but still different, right? And also, I would like to share here with you the comments I got previously. This can actually tell you how a review evaluate a proposal. And also, I would like to emphasize here, like George said that, like it's important to learn from the mistakes you got before, but I have a different view here. I think like the reviewers are changing all the time. Like different reviewers have a different view on a proposal, and but you can there are many issues like different. Sometimes it will send to like a reviewer outside your field. They will raise very weird questions. You cannot guarantee that the proposals will send to the proper ones. It's all about luck. So in my like very personal opinion, you don't have much to learn from losing ones, because those reviewers will raise very weird questions and very different style questions. You cannot address all of them. You cannot think about all of them when you write it. So, But if you look at successful experience, you can find like very common features of successful ones. For example, here, I highlighted those keywords here. The reviewers mentioned like good track record, novelty, solid track record, feasible and technically sound. Idea is new. This is related to novelty. Have a strong team. That is related to track record and also feasibility. Then after reading this, you will have some kind of idea. And also, some of these ones are founded, but they still, some weaknesses were pointed out. For example, like finding a collaborator like Indian air quality modeler may be helpful because this work I covered India. So they suggest finding a collaborator in India would be more convincing. This is about feasibility. They are worrying about if you could finish this project or not, right? And after this, it's related to feasibility and also track record and also the team. Then you can keep this in mind next time when you write something about Africa, about America, about India. It's good to include someone in that specific region and in the field. And other comments like it's unclear, it's not clear. That means like clarity is also quite important. So from this ones, but also like these comments, you can learn from losing ones. Don't follow all the suggestions raised by reviewers. Some are not convincing, but you can decide to follow some of them. And then after reviewing the comments of previous years, you can have kind of idea like how do they review like proposal. First, they will look at your topic. Is your topic novel or not? If it is not their novel on their mind, they will, like, I think they will write comments immediately. Like this research is not novel, and then you are likely to get funding. And if they think your proposed topic is novel, and they will look at your track records and team. Why do they want to see your track records and team? So after they know your topic is interesting, they would like to know if you can like complete this project. But it's impossible to foresee that, right? But they will look at your track records to see if you have done any work related to that. If you have that, they will think you are convincing to finish that. So don't write anything you don't have foundation. Don't write anything too new. Like write topics based on your previous work. That's related to feasibility. And also clarity is quite important. You need to convey your message in a very, very clear way. And also sometimes for collaborative projects, it covers different topics. You don't have like experience in that. For example, in my proposal, you can see like I have elements of deep learning. I have elements of satellite, and also I have elements of health risk assessment. For all these proposals, I will invite my colleagues at computer science program, Department of Computer Science as a co-I or co-PI. And for the geostationary air pollution satellite, I invite the James PI in South Korea, Jun Kim, as my co-PI, and he writes a support letter for me. And for health risk assessment, I include someone from the public health community. That's I think that's the keywords here. Novelty, feasibility, and clarity. That's the three keywords you have to keep on mind all the time when you write it. After you finish writing first draft to your proposal, it's important to invite like experienced colleagues or your previous supervisors to give you comments. That's learn from peers. For our university, we have this kind of scheme which has been proved to be very efficient to enhance the successful rate of our proposal each year. For this GRF General Research Fund proposal is commonly due on early November. We just submitted this year. The deadline for this year is November 1st. But actually, our university required us to submit the first draft before July 15. You can see like it's a number of months ahead. They require us to do it early because they would send out for review. You can provide some experts' names, and then the university will help you to send out for review, and they will also give them some money for this work for you. So then you can get some comments back, and you can revise based on those comments before your formal submission. That for most colleagues, I think it's quite helpful, this scheme. And also learn from your peers can also being achieved through some sharing sessions. For example, our university, the research office is always organizing the experience sharing session on application for research grants. This is like a poster for that event. They always ask. I was also invited to share several times. So they always ask like discuss for applicants for specific programs to share, and you can go there and learn from them and also talk to them. You may have many questions, and just and those ones, I think they are quite experienced. You can talk to them, talk about your concerns, and to seek their advice and suggestions. That can also be quite helpful. Here I'm also listing several references. You can see like these writing proposal suggestions are posted for different universities. Universities also working very hard to make you succeed, right? Many resources online, you can learn from like online resources, and then also learn from people, from your previous supervisors and your colleagues. That's all my sharing today, and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Gao. So yeah, your face still looks very clear and handsome even in the dark.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Yeah, so for your enlightening presentation, we will now move into the question and answer portion of our workshop. So yeah, this is a very great opportunity for everyone to engage with Professor Gao on the like a finer points of proposal writing and to get further insights.
How many audience here have like experience or have submitted, but I think it's still we will have like recording. You can still come back to learn from the video when you need to.
Yeah, sure, of course. Like, so yeah, everyone, please feel free to ask your questions.
Hi, Professor. Thanks for the talk. I would like to ask, like you had a very interesting background, changing departments, but some people don't have the same opportunity. So if like all of the background was done like kind of in the same university, same kind of department, or yeah, just one specific area, what would be the strategy, without this diverse background to actually find funding agencies?
That's a very, very good question. Actually, the diverse background has pros and cons. And I only mentioned about the more opportunities here, but also some reviews, they probably think like you are not concentrated. And also for like right now in geography, if you go through different discipline, most reviewers probably think you are not qualified. Your proposal is not that convincing. That's the drawback of diverse background. And for your question, I think there's no issue with it. If you just you are always in one discipline, you just submit through that discipline. But pay attention to funded ones through that discipline. It's good to write topics like similar topics like funded ones. And also if you are applying like a collaborative fund, for example, I mentioned about the panel review process. For those collaborative ones, they are first reviewed by panels. So if you have only one background, that's kind of difficult, but still you can invite collaborators from different disciplines to enhance the quality of your proposal. I don't think that can be that's an issue for proposal. Yeah.
Thank you. I just have one more question about like you said that your university provides kind of an internal review. This is quite nice, but what are there ways to go if like we don't have this, in our institute or so, like how to actually make sure that the proposal is good before submitting it?
Yeah, that's also a good point. Actually, our university just studied this sharing and review process recently, like the recent two to 3 years. In my first several submissions, for example, in my first submission, I just came back from Harvard and studied my career. After I finished my first draft, I sent to my postdoc supervisor at Harvard to ask for comments. But you need to know that we are in different funding system, right? So the way the proposal is evaluated probably different. May have some differences, but there still have some common feature. And also like these proposals in Hong Kong are sent out for review to Europe, Australia, many different countries in the world. So and we also encounter many reviewers from the US as well. So the way they are evaluating a proposal should be similar. You can ask, that's how I mentioned, you can ask your previous supervisors for help, and also you can ask your senior colleagues in your department for help. And every year I help my colleagues or colleagues in the field, but in other universities to offer comments for their proposals. And also sometimes those grant bidding needs interview, I also rehearse with them, like to offer useful comments. Every time I for myself, and I ask senior colleagues for help. Yeah.
Thank you for your answer. So, Jaru, are you there? So please feel free to ask questions.
Yes. Hello. Thank you very much for very helpful tips and experience sharing. I have a specific question about if you have any suggestion for non-native English speaker. I'm asking this because I'm Chinese, but now I'm working in Japan. I used to apply the funding from JSPS, Japan Society for Promotional Society. of science, but it's quite interesting. I use the same research idea, but the first time when I applied, I wrote the proposal in 100% English, but I didn't get it at that time. Then for the second time, I just changed the title, the abstract, maybe 20% into Japanese, and then I got it. So I'm wondering if you have some specific suggestion for the minor people, like who are not working in their related in their
I'm not.
home country. Yeah. Yeah, I
That,
know this
that,
issue is quite specific, but I'm kind of suffering for it.
yeah, that's a very. I'm not. That's a good question, but I'm not sure if it is proper to say it in public. Like,
You also apply using English, right? But you are
yeah, we are
now
using English, but like, you mean
with
like in Hong Kong, we have
home.
local colleagues and colleagues
Uh-huh.
from mainland.
Uh-huh. It's more international. I mean, Japan is more Japanese.
Yeah, but it's similar. Like I think some reviewers also judge based on your background.
I
Some
see.
of them, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say all of them, but some of them can probably judge based on your background. They can tell from your name, like where you are from.
Uh,
Yeah,
yes.
but you cannot control it, right? You cannot.
No, I don't think we can control. But from
Yeah.
my past experience, the first time is 100% the proposal in English, but at the same time, it's the same proposal actually. But I just changed some part of the paragraph
But
in
but
Japanese
you
and I got
cannot
it.
but you cannot conclude that it's because you win because you use Japanese to write it. It's also
No.
likely that reviewers changed. They have a different view
Yeah.
on your
That's
writing.
possible. That
But
could
but
be the case.
but you can still learn from this experience. You can put this
Yeah.
in
I
this way,
know.
like they probably like Japanese uh proposals more. And in like I have many like good Japanese friends. Some of them are not that good in English. They probably have. I also have like a Japanese colleague in my department.
Oh,
Um,
I see.
yeah, sometimes they might have difficulty in reading. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
The English is
to get your novelty. But no, now you have this kind of experience. Then later I would suggest like writing proposal in Japanese if you can, right?
but it's more difficult for me to write the proposal in Japanese than in
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
I will
yeah.
spend
But
more time and I need
it's
help from native.
yeah, uh but it's
Yeah.
also difficult for us to like write in English, but
Yeah.
not as difficult as in Japanese, but it's still not our mother tongue, right? But it's you are working in Japan.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
your decision, and
Okay.
you should try your best to get used to the system, to the culture, right?
And by the way, I was surprised because the university in Hong Kong, they provide the support to all of you for the researcher to get the funding. But I hope maybe they can also provide some more like international. I don't know, but that's very good. I was surprised by that.
I'm not sure about Japan, but also like in the US, I think they also provide something like this. Not probably not exactly the same, but something like this. And also, I think for both like Hong Kong universities or American university, they have like a writing office. You can go to writing office for help.
Okay, academic writing, or just for proposal.
Academic writing. They have courses for like post graduate students to help them develop academic writing skills, and also they have like I'm not sure about proposal, but they do have a academy. You can check in Japan. I'm not sure. But in our
Okay.
university and the university I stayed in the US, all of them have like a writing office.
Hmm. Okay, thank you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you
And
for your
it's
question.
yeah, it's not an issue. You can if there's now you can still ask your colleagues for help, right? Experienced colleagues for help.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for suggesting.
Yes, thank you. It's very good questions. So is there anyone else want to ask questions?
May I?
Yeah, sure, please.
Hi, I'm Priyanka from India, and I just wanted to know whether, I mean, you said that the reviewers often check for the track records. So there sometimes can be fields that are much similar to your fields, but your current publications do not really tell that you have a track record in that field, especially when you are applying for startup grants. So, what do you suggest to, I mean, what kind of language or support other than having collaborators who have such track records to get such grants?
Mm, yeah, yeah, that's also a good question. It's difficult. If you are not that competitive. If your track records are not that competitive, is kind of difficult. That's why you need to work hard to have some foundation in a certain field.
I am
But
especially concerned about the startup ones.
what do you mean the startup one? Startup from your university or?
I mean, there are some grants for established scientists, and then there are some for the earlier career ones.
Yeah.
So,
For earlier career ones, they still look at your track records, your paper, your training, and so on. And but you got your PhD. You did research in your PhD, right? You published in your PhD, right? So write something related to your PhD work. That could be convincing. The startup grants is pretty much like the research should be an extension of your previous work. Not something new, not you building something new. That's challenging. You're not convincing enough. When you are established, you can write a new topic.
thank you. Advice, yeah.
Okay, thank you for your question and thanks for the answer. Is there anyone else want to ask a question? It would be a great opportunity. So if not, I have one question. It's about responding to the others' feedbacks. Because as you mentioned, you have very diverse background. So you must be hearing suggestions or advices from different perspectives. Some you will agree, some will disagree. And so once the feedbacks are received on a proposal, so what kind of strategies do you recommend for effectively incorporating this feedback and just resubmitting a stronger proposal?
Oh, that's a good question. Actually, I talk about it during other sharing sessions because in our program, you can submit new and resubmit proposals. But my suggestion was like I never resubmit proposals. Because actually I don't read comments from field ones much, which makes me unhappy. So I don't do that. And I think I failed mostly because bad luck, like the proposal sent for the wrong review. And if you resubmit, it's also quite likely, like in our system, it's very likely you will be sent to the same review because in the system it has a record. If you indicate it's a resubmit case, it has the indication of the previous reviewers in the system. And I think people reject your proposal many because they don't like your proposal, even you make lots of changes. I think it depends on the comments. If you can decide based on those comments. If some comments are too harsh, for example, like not novel at all, you could just write a new one. Something like please include this others, you can make revisions. I think really depends on the comments you got.
Okay, thank you. It's a very characteristic answer. I like it. So I guess it's about time to finish. So at the very end of this workshop, first I want to still, thanks Professor Meng Gao for your participating, especially in the very early morning. In the very last 1 minute, I want to have everyone's attentions. So I just send a message in the chat lines. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, please subscribe. We will distribute some valuable information once a month. And the second thing is that we recently opened a new programs. We not only invite the senior scientists, we also want to invite some early career researchers, ECRs, to share their experience. So yeah, please, if you have any recommendations, nominate, including yourself, for the ECR series. And the last things, if you want to check the past events on the website, just please click on the link or the last link. Okay, so thanks everyone again for your participation. And I think it's about time to finish our workshop today.